Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NBA player props video. We're going to go over all of our picks from today, and then we'll get into a couple of picks that I have for you tomorrow. It's not my favorite slate. Sorry, guys. I don't ever want to force bets, especially when I'm doing so well in the month of January. I'm up about 26 units, I think, and that's including football, but most of that is from basketball. In fact, football, I probably could have been up a little bit even more. It's hard with playoff football, but anyways, let's jump into that. Okay, so the Timberwolves played their makeup game, and Anthony Edwards barely crushed our line with 32 points. And then they lost the game anyways. So kind of got both my bets wrong on that, but I didn't go rebet the Minnesota money line. So at least that didn't hurt me. And then RJ Barrett did have 2 steals and blocks. I think they were both steals. Brandon Ingram had 2 steals and blocks, and those were both blocks. And then the Raptors did come through on the plus 456 money line. And then, of course, the plus 12.5 spread. So I deserve some props for calling that Raptors win on the road against the Thunder, even though I know they just lost to the Pacers. But yeah, I think I should get some props for that plus 456. It's a pretty tough money line to hit. And then the alt lines, Peyton Watson didn't play. That game was postponed. And Sabonis did not get there on his rebounds. He hooked us with 7. Okay, so tomorrow I do have a couple more game bets that I'm making. I'm going to take the Hawks against the Pacers at home. Minus 185 is what I'm kind of seeing it at. The Pacers are only 3-19 in away games. The Hawks are 8-13 at home. So they're obviously playing a lot better at home. Pacers are playing bad on the road, even though they just had a nice road win against the Thunder. The Pacers are also coming off of this will be their 5th road game, I think, in a 5 road game stretch. So they've already played the Pistons, the 76ers, the Celtics, and the Thunder, which are some pretty tough teams. So I think they're going to be a little tired here. And even if the game pushes up, into a high score, I just think that the Hawks come away with the win. Now, if you look at their series history here, the Pacers have won a lot of these games, not recently. So they've lost 3 in a row recently, and 2 of those were in Atlanta. And then before that, they did win twice in Atlanta in the previous season. So kind of sixes here, but this year the Pacers have not been playing that well. So I'll take the home team here in a Moneyline parlay. And then the other piece to that parlay is going to be the Cavaliers at home against the Magic. Now, Darius Garland is still missing from this team, but so is Franz Wagner. So I feel like, that kind of evens out a little bit. If you look at the series history, obviously the Cavs have a huge winning streak, although they did lose at home last year. And that was a game where Evan Mobley was missing. Evan Mobley is playing in this game. The 2 red check marks are games in which Darius Garland was missing, and those were away games, and Cleveland still won. So I don't think that Garland missing is going to hurt them in this matchup as much as Mobley missing would, according to the data. So I'm going to put them with the Hawks for a little bit of money. I'll show you at the end how much I got on it. And then I'll take one Moneyline Underdog, the 76ers, in an away game at the Hornets. The 76ers are playing better in away, or playing well in away games, and the Hornets are not playing that great at home. We know they play much better on the road. So I'm just going to take it. I know Paul George is out, Joel Embiid is out as well, but I'm getting plus money to take what I think is kind of the better team. This is a first night of a back-to-back for the 76ers, by the way, which is probably why Paul George and Joel Embiid are out. But I am excited to see VJ Edgecombe and Colin Knippel go head-to-head, basically, again. So they played each other the first away game of the season. They played each other, and now they get to go up against each other again. All right. I don't have a lot of bets for tomorrow, but one that I do have is CJ McCollum over 19.5 PR. Now that is at 20 on a lot of books, and the points line is at 16.5, but it's at 17.5 on a lot of books. I did post it on Twitter. I got it at Boom Fantasy. I don't know if it's still there, but it was when I posted it. I posted it on YouTube as well. He is over in 57% of all games with Atlanta, and that jumps to 67% when you're just considering the 3 home games. And then overall this season with his old team and with Atlanta, he's over in 76% of home games. He's only over 50% of the time head-to-head, and most of this head-to-head data is with the Pelicans, obviously. So take that for what you will. I think that CJ McCollum, he's got he's going to have the highest usage on the team after Jalen Johnson. Like it's going to be CJ McCollum and Jalen Johnson that have the big usage. So I think he's just been slowly acclimating himself to this team, and his lines have not adjusted, and they need to keep going up and up and up. This is not really a good assist matchup against the Pacers, so that's why I'm not doing the PRA. But I think the PRA is probably fine too. I just I'll stick with the PR. All right, one lean is Con Knipple under 3.5 assists. He's over in only 30% of home games where LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and Miles Bridges are all playing. And then he had about 1 to 5 potential assists in most of these games. Like some of them, like there was 1-6 potential game, 1-7. And then obviously in the games he went over, I think the game he had 7, he had double digits. But usually he's only getting like 1 to 4 potential assists. That's what he had in his game with the 76ers, was just 4 potential assists, and he only converted 1 of those. I think he's going to play a little bit better than that. But I do think if he goes over this line, it's going to be just barely, like with 4. And I think that could happen, and that's why it's just a lean, because Joel Embiid and Paul George are out. And so maybe that lends itself to easier, assists, basically. But I'm going to take it. All right, no lines in this game here, and that is all I have for you guys. So I just have the one best bet and the one lean. I have the Moneyline Parlay for you, which I guess I forgot to put how much I got on it, but it was plus 111 for those two, which I think is a fair price. And then the 76ers plus 136 is what I got. So I'm just doing a half unit on the parlay and a half unit on the money line. I don't have a ton of experience betting like these game bets in basketball, and I have more knowledge kind of in the football arena, but I do tend to do pretty well when I do bet them. Don't take my recent win with the Raptors plus 436 as like an indicator that we're going to hit every single one. We're not, obviously. But yeah, that's so I'm not going to have one every single game is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I will try to add some plays in the morning. I'll try and add at least one play. I know I didn't today, and tomorrow's Monday, so I'm going to be busy at work, but I will try to add one so that we can have 2 best bets. And that way, any comment on this video will get you into the cash prize giveaway if you are subscribed to the channel and like the video. All right, thanks, guys.